A typical day at law school for me was usually looking like getting up at 5:30 or 6 in the morning because I'm a morning person. I usually like to get my reading done before class. Well, maybe not directly before, but I like to read in the morning because I can just focus better. I usually get kind of tired after class. The school I go to, we only have class 4 days a week instead of 5. So our classes might be a little bit longer than other law schools. It just kind of depends where you're at. But usually we would have an hour long writing class, give or take, in the morning on a Monday and Wednesday, and then we'd have two 2-hour classes, one back to back with the writing class, and then about an hour break for lunch, and then another 2-hour class from like 1 to 3:30 or somewhere in that ballpark. And then after that, kind of come home, decompress, review your notes from the day if you fell behind on anything in class, and make dinner and try and get some exercise and get to bed early so I could read for the following day.
So I commute an hour, so my day is not exactly the same as everyone else's day, but I usually wake up and I drive an hour. And then my first year I had a big chunk in between my classes. So I had my morning class and then I would sit in the library and study all day. But luckily that meant that by the time I commuted home, I didn't have a ton to do. So I could actually enjoy life outside of law school, which was nice. A lot of driving for me, but a lot of studying, sitting in the library, trying to eat when you can.
In law school, it kind of depends on the class you're in. At my school, we have a writing class where you draft different types of legal writing documents, whether it be like a brief before a court or an internal office research memorandum. So for those classes, you might have some interim research assignments or writing drafts throughout the semester that you'll be responsible for. For the rest of the cases that you might be a little bit more familiar with when you think about law school, maybe you think about criminal law, it's typically just long reading assignments for each class to come prepared with. So the expectations, you'll read the cases, read the assigned reading, maybe make some notes to prepare for class discussion. You might get called on from time to time and be responsible for some of the material, but it's not too bad.
It's all readings. So you get like a case book and it's a really thick textbook, and then you have like assigned readings for each day and you read them, and then you go into class and they ask you questions about it and you don't know which days you're going to be called on, and you kind of have to answer because professors will be a little brutal. So you just have to do your readings and then you have a big exam at the end and you're not really graded on anything else. So just a lot of reading.
It can definitely be a little bit stressful, but I would say it also kind of gives you the opportunity to just kind of trust in the process, as dumb as that sounds. But if you keep up with things, it's really not too bad, and you just kind of have to believe in yourself a little bit. But there's definitely some stress in the back of the mind, and it's also kind of nice because it prevents you from coasting a little bit. If you did really well at the beginning and then you kind of taper off at the end, you can kind of keep up the same intensity with studying going into the final.
Not super great. I don't love it. Some classes you have like a few other things in there, but most of the time it's one final, maybe a midterm. I don't have any of my grades for second semester, so I'm still waiting to see how it turned out. But yeah, it's not my favorite. Don't love that.
So far, the internship has me more interested in law, seeing the actual interaction with the business model of a law firm, and just being able to grapple with different factual circumstances that are outside of your law school hypothetical land. It's kind of nice to see how it relates to real people's lives and how you can make a positive difference.
I think the more I work and see day to day what being a lawyer is like is great, because I don't really love the school aspect of it. I don't love sitting in a classroom all the time. So I think the more that I see the practical side, the more I'm actually looking forward to doing it.
One thing I'm a little bit less interested in law with is, maybe kind of the way school's conducted, because we don't really learn a lot of applicable skills that translate to this job. I mean, the writing class at my school I felt like was great. I felt like it prepared me for some of the assignments I've had in the internship so far. But the rest of the classes are all, really high level theoretical thinking that I don't really see a whole lot of application to the real world so far yet.
School. It's fine, it's a means to an end, but I don't really love being there. 2 more years, we're almost there, it's okay.
When I graduate, first I hope to pass the bar exam so I can actually be an attorney. And once I accomplish that, I'd like to move to or work to more of a small town in, central or eastern Pennsylvania, stay close to where my family's from, and hopefully I can get into one of the law practices that I like estate planning, family law, or, really any small town practice I'd be happy with.
I would like to pay off my debt as fast as possible by whatever means necessary, but then long term I'm looking towards child advocacy or a foster care system or litigation, but we'll see.